Angel Road is a sandbar connecting 3 small islands to Shodoshima. Twice a day during low tide, visitors can walk across the sandbar. It is said that if a couple crosses the sandbar hand in hand, an angel will descend from heaven and grant them happiness together. The name Angel Road derives from this romantic legend. Not to be missed are the fabulous views of Angel Road from the observation deck on top of the nearby hill called Yakusoku no Oka, or Hill of Promises. The area around Saikoji Temple, the 58th temple of the Shodoshima 88 temple pilgrimage, is a labyrinth of alleys lined with old buildings known as Maze Town. The complicated design was intentionally adopted to protect the residents from pirates and also protect the buildings from strong ocean winds. Maze Town has many historical and cultural sites, such as the magnificent Vermilion Gate and distinctive 3-story pagoda of Saikoji Temple, and a museum dedicated to the famous haiku poet Hosai Ozaki. Not far from Maze Town is Dofuchi Strait, recorded in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's narrowest strait, as well as Angel Road and several artworks from the Setouchi International Art Festival. Hitoyama and Nakayama are located in Shodoshima's interior, set in a rural landscape surrounded by mountains. Local people have lived in this rich natural environment, cultivating the land, since ancient times. The Nakayama terraced rice fields are ranked among the best 100 terraced rice fields in Japan, and this beautiful rural landscape has been named as one of Japan's best 100 villages. Traditional cultures such as rural kabuki and mushiokuri that developed from prayers and thanks for a good harvest have been passed down through the generations for over 300 years. Shiroyama Park in Ikeda is famous for its beautiful cherry blossoms. A famous scene in the movie 24 Eyes, where Miss Oishi, an elementary school teacher, and her pupils play train among the cherry trees, was filmed in Shiroyama Park. The park offers splendid views of Shikoku and the Seto Inland Sea, and is also a spectacular sunset viewing spot. Located right by the sea, the now closed Tongata Elementary School has featured as a location in several films, including Rebirth and Kiki's Delivery Service. The beach and the sea in this part are so beautiful that in 2000, a sea turtle came to the beach to nest. The local children gathered to watch her laying her eggs, and then watched over the nest until the 51 hatchlings emerged and made their way into the sea. A regular sight every year are the many carp-shaped streamers that are hung from the beach to an offshore reef around Children's Day in May. Waving in the breeze, they look as though they are swimming over the sea. Takinomiya is an area set in a beautiful rural landscape at the foot of Mount Oto, where the terraced rice fields stretch down to the sea. Like the terraced rice fields at Nakayama, these rice fields were created on steep slopes formed by a landslide about 10,000 years ago. Takinomiya is an area rich in history, nature, and stone culture. Stone called Teshima Ishi is quarried in this area. With its distinctive colour tone, Teshima Ishi was widely used for building and ornamental purposes through the ages. It was also used for the stone lanterns of the Katsura Imperial Villa in Kyoto. Even today, it can be seen in the stone structures of Takinomiya Shrine. Around 2,000 olive trees grow on the hills overlooking the Seto Inland Sea. Shodoshima became the birthplace of olive cultivation in Japan in 1908, when olive trees were planted in 3 locations in an attempt to make the country self-sufficient in olive oil, which was required for canning sardines and tuna. Shodoshima was the only place where the olives grew successfully, earning the island the title Olive Island. Apart from the olive grove, Olive Park also offers gardens full of colourful flowers, a herb garden with 120 different kinds of fragrant herbs, and a replica of a Greek windmill, as well as a restaurant, cafe, shops, and accommodation facilities. Okinoshima is a small island with a circumference of less than 3 kilometers, lying 200 meters from Oi, a flourishing fishing area in the northwest of Shodoshima. The island is accessible by ferry from Oi. Though close, there is a fast-flowing current between the two. The ferry takes less than 1 minute to make the crossing. Seto no Hanayome, the Inland Sea Bride, is a 1972 song about a bride leaving her home to go and live on a small island in the Seto Inland Sea. Okinoshima is said to be the model for the island in the song. The fishing boats sailing out of the port make a stunning sight. Kankakei is ranked as one of Japan's 3 most beautiful gorges. Lying between Hoshinga-jo, the highest peak of the Seto Inland Sea National Park, and Shihozashi Viewpoint, the gorge was formed by volcanic activity 13 million years ago. Years of erosion by wind and rain have created unusual rock formations and given rise to a variety of wild plants and flowers. Kankakei Gorge is particularly spectacular during the autumn colour season, attracting large numbers of tourists every year. But its scenery can be enjoyed throughout the year, with wild cherry blossoms in spring and vibrant verdure in early summer. The complex topography and varied climate have produced rare plants and flowers, and even some animals which can only be found on Shodoshima. Kankakei Gorge was awarded 1 star by the Michelin Green Guide Shikoku, triggering an increasing number of visitors from abroad every year. The Mito Peninsula extends southwards in the middle of Shodoshima. Jizosaki Lighthouse, located on the southernmost tip of the peninsula closest to Shikoku, is a spectacular viewing spot, chosen as one of the 100 most beautiful landscapes in the Sanuki region. The scenic road along the coast is a popular place for driving and cycling. The Mito Peninsula has many other attractions, including the Shishinaki fence, built in the late Edo era to protect crops from wild boar and deer, a magical wind cave called Kazanaan, and Hanasuwajima Island, a great spot for viewing the rising sun. Shodoshima Furusatomura brings together a variety of facilities, including an event plaza, hotel, swimming pool, tennis courts and strawberry farm, as well as offering a wide range of seasonal activities from sea kayaking and fishing to cycling and camping. Furusatomura has something for all the family. In addition to stunning panoramic views of Shikoku and the Seto Inland Sea, Furusatomura is also a great place to see spectacular sunsets. Shodoshima has many beautiful beaches along its northern coast. Kobe Beach is particularly noteworthy for its long expanse of white sand and stunning views of the sea stretching to the distant horizon. In summer, many people come to enjoy swimming and camping. Several picturesque islands lie off the coast, and the scenery changes from moment to moment, depending on the position of the sun. Crossing the suspension bridge over the river is just like walking on the sea, and the scenery is breathtaking. Soy sauce production in Shodoshima began over 400 years ago. Taking advantage of the flourishing salt industry, the warm climate which was well suited to cultivation of yeast, and the well-developed sea traffic routes that brought soybeans and wheat to the island, Shodoshima's soy sauce industry was born. Even today, many of the island's soy sauce factories use the traditional method of brewing soy sauce in huge wooden barrels. Shodoshima accounts for almost all production of soy sauce in wooden barrels. In addition, production of tsukudani, small pieces of seafood, meat or other foods cooked in soy sauce, began as a new industry on the island after the Second World War. The rich aroma of soy sauce that fills the air, and the soy sauce factories with their white plaster walls and roofs blackened by fermentation evoke a sense of history. "24 Eyes" is a 1954 movie filmed on Shodoshima that follows the lives of a school teacher and her first class of students as they grow up on the island in the years leading up to the Second World War. After the shooting of the 1987 remake, the movie set used for the filming was opened to the public as the 24 Eyes Movie Village. The nostalgic atmosphere of the village whisks visitors back in time to the early 20th century the moment they step inside. Among the buildings is a memorial museum dedicated to Sakai Tsuboi, the Shodoshima-born author of the novel 24 Eyes, that displays her original manuscripts and personal belongings, and an antique cinema showing the original film. Also not to be missed are the fields of flowers that change with the seasons.